When you first sat down with Tupac, what was your impression of him? Was he business minded or just what did you think of him at first?
Oh, well, since I've been in this business literally since I was like maybe 12, I was in this professional boys choir where I was in, we won't go into that, but, we did movies. I'm in this real movie like Robin and the Seven Hoods and all that, singing with Bing Crosby. But I had been around it when I first met Tupac. My first impression was, wow, what an artist. It's like you just meet. So just from being around Bing Crosby and, we used to sing at the Friars Club during the Christmas hot Buddy Hackett's place. From being around all them people, all through my career, you meet people. When I met Tupac, I realized this guy's an incredible artist. And I just didn't see him as a rapper. Actually, I see Tupac, I've seen him more as a great character actor. Since he was such a great character actor that they really believed that he was like this notorious gangster. Probably, if he was around, he probably would have got a Oscar by now.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
Yeah, what led me to work at Death Row Records, I thought it was a great American music company for me. And I had met Suge Knight a few years before I worked there when I was chief engineer for the Jackson family up at Michael Jackson's house. So Suge would come up there. It'd be like a round table. It'd be like Suge Knight, a couple of Jacksons. Papa Jackson was the ringleader, and then we would be in like after the sessions or during the sessions, we take a break, and then we'd be in Music 101 with Joe Jackson, who is one of my favorite people still. I worked for Michael's publishing company, so my duties were to come up to the house in Encino Monday through Friday, sometime the weekends, work with any people that were signed to ATV Publishing, and then also work with any family members that wanted to use the studio. So, it was great working up there. It was more fun working at Death Row, though. It was, Suge, see, this is where everybody realized Suge was only, 29 or 30 then? He was a big kid. So, Suge, to me, isn't getting enough props like Snoop just came out and broke bread with him. Because Suge, kept peace in there. Like, when I first came there, it's a funny story. I had known Suge. Then he called me in his office, and he goes, man, I've been knowing you a long time, but I forgot to ask you, what are you? And I go, me? Oh, I'm a hippie. Suge and David Kenneth fall out the chairs laughing. They go, no, are you affiliated? And I go, no, affiliated? He goes, yeah, dude, like everything in my office is red. Then he explained to me, here we got Bloods and Crips making music together. Say, we about the music. If they start arguing or something, immediately come get me. And he kept peace. Well, see, here you go. I'm an old black guy. I've been in this business, dude, like, shoot, almost 40 years now. And here you go. They looked at the hip hop movement like the Black Panthers or something. The only difference is the kids in the hip hop are starting to become millionaires and billionaires. So now they got a problem. Now all of a sudden they had this class thing. Now here's the problem. The kids that are doing the hip hop records, they can afford to eat in the fancy restaurants in Beverly Hills or wherever. And the people didn't like that. And that's why the media blew all this stuff up out of proportion. The whole thing is they didn't like it. The only reason they really attacked Suge was because they investigated them for 7 years. The company made $1 billion quick. And they just couldn't have somebody that, acted like themselves from the neighborhood worth $1 billion out there. And then Suge was also talking about taking over the distribution. He said the only thing that we still don't have is distribution. So he was trying to get together with a few other guys, Master P, to see if they could get their own distribution. And right after that, they put him in jail.
So, Rick, how did you get the call to finally go to Death Row Records?
What happened was I got a call from Kevin Lewis, the studio manager. I think it was like Saturday or Sunday. And I think it was Sunday. He's like, dude, you got to come down here. Tupac got out of jail. I'm like, so I didn't believe it at first. I'm like, yeah, right. He goes, no, Rick, Tupac got out of jail. He been down here. He done went through at least 2 or 3 engineers already. I think they jumped on one of them. You got to come down here. He said he's screaming, asking for somebody that knows how to record more than drum machines and had a lot of experience doing R&B music. So they said, well, that's the chief. So he said, well, how come y'all? Because I think they tried to put him, I guess they figured since Dave Aaron worked with Snoop that they put at first Dave Aaron with Pac, and it just didn't work out. So then when I got down there, they said, come down there, like Pac gave me an interview. He straight up asked me, how do you intend to record my album? Oh, well, me, since I've been doing it, I say, okay, this is what we got to do. And then I went into, a full pre-production meeting with Pac. I said, we need certain gear. This is a SSL room, but, I use all the vintage outboard gear. So we rented the gear. We probably rented about a good, $10,000 worth of, $20,000 worth of outboard gear. Need preamps and stuff that I use, APIs. I also informed him that we would need time to set up and test everything. And I also asked, since I knew that it would be a big entourage, Pac said he wanted to do a spontaneous album, even try and set some Guinness Book of Records or something. I said, okay, I'm going to need 2 second engineers and 2 assistants. All the guys were good around there. It would either be Lance, Pierre, or I forgot the other kid's name, Mike, or, all the guys were good. A lot of the guys, Carlos, Lance, and a bunch of those guys, they were actually second engineers when they came there. And then what we did is we realized, okay, these guys are really good. They got skills. They're developing, so we moved them to a first engineering position.
Because you had worked with Dog Pound prior, did you see any tensions with their camp when Tupac arrived at Death Row?
There was always, the only tension there was ever at Death Row was studio time. Then the only tension that Tupac caused was when he wanted to get in and work, since he had, I guess the word I'm looking for is first precedence. He would just come in and say, look, I got to get in the studio. So whoever was in there working had to get out. That caused all kind of tension. Other than that, I mean, everybody worked together during those days.
There's a rumor that Dre was unhappy about the California Love song being put on All Eyes on Me. To your knowledge, is that true?
That's not true. That's true. That's that BS they came up with. Look, like I told everybody, I don't know where they get them stories for, but the Outlaws, everybody was in there. Then Dre, all of a sudden, I heard all this excitement, motion. It's like a beam of light was coming through the door. Here's Dre, big smile on his face, got two reels, got a reel under each arm, California Love. Walked in like a man. All them stories ain't true. Dre walked in, he said, man, I was thinking about keeping this for myself, but, dude, Pot, I'm going to give this to you. We both going to get on it. We pulled the track up. You should see, man, you should see the little faces. One of the best days, man. When he pulled up California Love, wore us out. He say, Big Rick, you ready to do these vocals? So all them stories of that ain't true, man. Then Dre came back and mixed it down to Cam-Am. And then this first time I talked him into blocking off the studio for the weekend. Because he never do that before. He sit there for maybe 6 hours or so, then he gone, then he may recall it about 12 times. So I said, dude, you know, since you the boss and this is your studio, we can, like, block the board off. He had never did that. He said, I always saw that tape across the boards. I said, watch this. And I put tape across the board, put a sign, do not touch. He said, man, I always wanted to do that. So those stories ain't true. The main reason Dre left Death Row is he thought he was losing the creative thing. In other words, same weekend we were mixing California Love. Bunch of guys come in. They walk in the room, they're like hugging Dre and stuff, and they're, man, we're glad to be on the same label with you, all this stuff. So they leave. So Dre got this look on his face, and, you know, me, I'm like, what's up, man? Then Dre stops the tape. He say, Big Rick. He said, I don't know if you know how this is set up, but Suge's supposed to do the business. I'm supposed to be over the creative end. He say, now they just signing people. He said, I ain't even heard these people. He said, I'm trying to keep a certain integrity in, you know, to the company. In other words, I just don't want to sign nonsense. So it seemed like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, he was gone.
Besides California Love, were there any other standout sessions that you had with Tupac in that time frame?
Probably the favorite session that I did was Gangster Party. That was the most fun Pac was doing. Of course, he was real spontaneous, so everybody was like, realized that, okay, this guy's only giving me one take. Snoop, when we went to do Gangster Party, he's the only one that sent enough to say, you know what, I'll come back the next day. And then Snoop came back, we knocked off. say Snoop knocked it off one take. Leads, doubles, everything. And then what was happening, no matter what you hear, I was on one side recording. Quick was on the other side mixing. I don't know what, some kind of politics, like they couldn't say Quick mix the stuff. Because Quick came over, he told me, he said, man, he said, we're keeping, I think, 2 of your rough mixes. And then you can tell the stuff, I think they kept, because you can hear that spatializer thing I got on. I'm the only one that has a desk for spatializer. Quick though, but the 2 main mixes to me were Dre, of course, and DJ Quick. The next, that guy Tommy D. That guy Tommy D, he mixed like Dre. He really good. Well, Tommy D did Machiavelli. See, Tommy D, like, this is what he did. You know, he's a great, you know, he like me. He's been around a long time, so, I mean, we don't mind if the second engineer overdubs or whatever sit at the board. Tommy would go out, you know, say, look, dude, I'm going to set the mic up. Here it is. But as far as mixing and all that, Tommy, the Machiavelli sound is because of Tommy D and Kurt Cobain. And then here's the sad tragedy. Kurt didn't get no, his name ain't, I mean, that's Kurt Cobain's sound. He's the only one that can duplicate that sound right now. If you tell somebody duplicate the Machiavelli sound, they ain't going to be able to do it. The only one that'll be able to do it right on the spot is Kurt Cobain.